Hi, today is day 63, and that means 9 weeks, exactly 9 weeks. And you're gonna see this big cheesy smile because I weighed myself today and I weighed 206 pounds. That's what I said. 206 pounds. That is 19 down from where I started. It's not exactly where I want it to be, but I'm not even going to go there. I'm really patting myself on the back on this one because listen, this is an everyday work. This is a mental game that requires focus and dedication on a daily basis and decisions being made on a daily basis. And I've been making those decisions. I really took the nutritionist's advice to focus on the experience with food versus the number on the scale. And even though she told me this month to not worry about my weight loss, I can't help it. It's just what I do. I get on the scale every day. So I've been doing that. I haven't changed that habit, but adding that focus to finding things I enjoy to eat that give me good days that don't make me sick versus worrying about diet. Like the proof is in the pudding. I've had more progress in this month than I had before. I mean, period. The first month was a very frustrating period of like a rapid 7 pounds lost within the first 3 days since the insertion of the balloon, and then stagnation for weeks, probably almost for a month of stagnation. And the number that I was just kind of hovering around and never kind of getting away from was 218. And so to have hit 207 on day 60 just a couple of days ago, and then today to get on the scale this morning and see 206, and it was like 206.2. It wasn't even close to 207. Like it was definitely, another pound down. And I have to say this because I'm posting these videos a little, not actually in real time at the moment. Just because life it's enough to kind of remember every day to get on here and talk about the progress, and then like to figure out, oh wait, go here, or try to do a minimal edit, wait for it to upload, right, whatever. Respect to everybody who does that on a full-time basis because it's a job. Seriously, respect. But I am going to post all of these, so you'll see these come up. And I, at the end, want to be able to kind of watch, kind of see the general progress overall. But so what is not going to be clear from the timeline, from the posting dates, is the timeline of my progress. So I got the balloon inserted at the end of September, and today is, I actually don't know the date. Today is November 26th. And it's Saturday, and Thanksgiving was 2 days ago. So I'm extra proud of myself. I'm extra proud of myself for reaching this low, this all-time low, and all-time in quotes, because I'm basically talking about the time of the balloon. So in the time of my balloon, to reach my lowest weight in this particular period is kind of incredible. Now, I will say I didn't have a Thanksgiving dinner this year. So, that's the reason why I didn't have a feast. Because of work commitments, I actually couldn't go to visit my family, and my mom wasn't able to come up here to visit me. And so I actually didn't, and I didn't go to friends. So I actually didn't have a Thanksgiving dinner. Which I'm kind of okay about. I'm actually feeling really good about, to be really honest. Because I wasn't in like the hot seat of like, I have to make a decision now. What do I eat? What do I not eat? Thanksgiving, I'm the person who loves the sides. I'm not a turkey eater anyway, but I love the sides. So mac and cheese, stuffing, anything with sweet potatoes was going to be like where I was going to either gravitate to or like all night try to be like moving away from. And I'm glad I didn't have to have that fight. I stayed home, and there are a couple of other times in the past where I haven't been able to go home for Thanksgiving or go have a big traditional Thanksgiving dinner, and so I have for myself just made some of my favorite sides at home. I thought I might do that this time. In fact, I was in the grocery store the night before, really late the night before I was coming home from work, and I stopped in the grocery store to get something else. I can't remember what I was in the store. Oh, I think I need a trash bag, something really, really random. And the line was long, and I was like, why is the line long? And I was like, oh, of course, it's the day before Thanksgiving. Everyone's buying the last things that they need before, the night before, so they can get started on their cooking or, prepare for their cook. So prepare for what they're gonna cook. So I was sort of laughing like, oh, this is really cute. I remember being in this rush. I remember coming to the grocery store the Wednesday before Thanksgiving to get like stuff for macaroni and cheese, and there was like no more elbow pasta or something, and I had to like make mac and cheese with like penne pasta or something. So just in my mind, but even like having that whole thought, I had no impetus. There was no like spark in me that was like, oh, well, maybe you should get something. Maybe you should get a little something. There was nothing in me. Like, I just stayed on track. Like, I was like, oh, no, I was buying, trash bags and tonic water. I want to say. So I love gin tonic, but I recently discovered Seedlip, and I absolutely love it. I don't even know if I'm going to go back to drinking gin tonics, really, because I had a little teeny bit of tonic left over. I mean, I want to say it was like possibly 3 spoonfuls. It was a little more than a splash of gin, but it was not enough to make a proper gin tonic, right? So I was like, oh, I'll just mix this in with my Seedlip. It was a small amount of gin. I took a sip and I had to spit it out. The flavor was so like aggressive for me. I really, really have started loving the Seedlip. And just to explain, Seedlip is a non-alcoholic spirit that is meant to kind of imitate a gin that you mix then with a tonic, and it's like a cocktail, a mocktail. I love it. I really love it. It's now I love it. And the weird thing is, gin tonics were a drink that I loved, but I always could drink like 2 or 3 of them. The Seedlip tonic, this is all praise for Seedlip, I guess, because the flavors are so, I don't know, like complex, interesting to my palate, that I drink it slowly. And so I actually drink like 1 tall glass, and it'll take me hours to drink that, which is so different from when you drink a gin and tonic. And I think it might be because the gin is such a strong alcohol that maybe after the first or second, swallow, my taste buds are a little bit dulled because of the alcohol. And so I can't taste as much. So now I'm just drinking for refreshment, or drinking, because it's comfortable, that it's cold and bubbly. Whereas with the Seedlip, it's such a lovely, complex flavor. And by that, I mean, it's floral, but it's also herbal. It's got it's got something tart or tangy in it that I feel like kind of gets even more activated or more opened when the tonic hits it, because I've drunk tonic water on its own. So I know it's not just the tonic water making this drink so interesting. But somehow with the tonic water, it just bursts open, and it's just lovely, and I love it. But it's just so interesting to drink that I am really enjoying it and sipping at it. And taking my time and savoring it, I should say. That was a long tangent to say why I was in the store, but I guess I want to say that because I guess I want to say that because I want to note that part of my weight loss recently also may be that I have probably drunk less alcohol than I had in the past. Never a huge drinker, but I would have a gin tonic if I were home and I had gin, and I would have a glass or 2 of wine a couple of times a week. I got a case of Prosecco maybe like a month ago. So I've had some Prosecco here and there, but not I haven't had like those nights where you're like half a bottle in because you're enjoying whatever, blah, blah, blah. Haven't had that. I thought like, I thought, oh, it's dangerous that I'm having a case of Prosecco. I'm going to down it all, but I haven't. I don't reach for it as much as I thought I might. It's actually nice to know that I can have a case and not just blow through it. So it's really, I think I'll still have that next, by January after New Year's. So the alcohol, I think, has been also a part of the weight loss that I've stopped taking that. But the tonic water. I don't like diet tonic. I don't like diet drinks in general. So the tonic water probably has a number of calories in it. So I haven't scrimped there. But the alcohol I'm not taking. So that's less. That's 100 150 calories less times 1 or 2 or 3, whatever I would have normally done on a weekend or whatever. That's not happening. But mostly it's just been the focus on the diet and really paying attention to what makes my stomach and my gastric system uneasy, upset, makes me uncomfortable, and staying away from it. And then focusing on the stuff that I can eat. So I had maybe a week or so ago, I did a video about the really bad reaction I had to some mashed potatoes that were super, super buttery. And I thought, oh God, was it the potatoes or the butter? I can now definitively say it was the butter. It was the butter because I had potatoes yesterday that I made, just Spanish style, just sliced, boiled and then sliced and then kind of sauteed in oil with some seasonings on them, and then a squeeze of lemon juice on them. And I had no issues. So that's my lesson. Butter is also kind of something to avoid. That's okay, because there's lots of other delicious oils to cook with and to put in on breads, on salads, whatever. So my avocado oil, my olive oil, my grapeseed oil, I can use those. It's just butter. That's not my friend. But those kind of discoveries are what I've been making that have gotten me here to a point at week 9 where I can be excited about the number on the scale. I'm excited about the progress. And now it doesn't feel like pie in the sky to get across the 200 line. Now I feel like, okay, I can get there. I'm not putting a time on it because I've gotten myself in trouble doing that. It might be a week. Excuse me, Cat. Cat is, of course, here because we're on camera. So say hello, Cat. Okay, say goodbye, Cat. It could be next week. It could be 2 weeks. It could be January. I don't care because this is way more valuable. And what this is me, your girl, making daily decisions about food in a positive way for my body and for my mental health. Because when I'm going through it from something that's blowing up in my stomach, I fall into a negative place up here. So learning how to naturally make these daily choices about food that are good for me and feel good. And maybe that's the point, focusing on the feel good versus the morally good choice for my body. But like the feel good thing is a big shift mentally for me, and it's shown itself health-wise to be a great payoff. So I'm very, very glad that this program offers the monthly visit with the nutritionist. And I'm very, very glad that these nutritionists are people who are open-minded and ready to deal with you very individually on what's happening with you. My journey with this balloon has been completely different from what is on paper as recommended dietary advice for the patient. None of that really made sense for me except the first 3 days, which were stay on a liquid diet. I've had to find my own way for everything else after that. So I'm grateful to, open-minded medical professionals who were like, throw the papers out, throw that advice out, and let's figure out what your body wants. And most importantly, let's always be combining your internal, your I want to say your mental health, but it's really like your emotional health, with also with your food choices, and with whatever the process of this balloon being inside of you, this gastric intervention is, right? That you should be really focusing on your emotional health with this gastric thing versus just, a size going down. Is this changing? Is that changing? Things I have left to do. I have not measured myself for several weeks. To be really honest, because I haven't put in as much exercise as I wanted, my work schedule just blew up, and I have just not taken the time. When I've had downtime, I have just said, I'm taking a nap. I'm laying down, I'm reading, I'm watching something. It's World Cup time, so I'm a fan. So excuse me, when something comes, when I have downtime, I'm like, ooh, who's playing? Let's watch this. Let's watch recaps. Let's read about the games that I missed. I haven't taken time to really exercise. So I don't feel physically like I have, well, how do I want to say this? I feel physically very soft. I feel very pillowy. I feel very like soft and squishy now. I know that my body is smaller because my jeans are too big. Clothes are fitting very differently now, finally. But I feel still a little not firm. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. Like when you're working out and losing weight, there's this firmness that you get that makes your body feel kind of very sleek. And while I know I am less physically because clothes that fit me don't fit me, and clothes that I couldn't fit into before now fit, places, clothes I would never have worn before because my stomach was always kind of like, bleh, now I can wear because my stomach is fine. Things that are tight fitting, I'm okay in now. Like I used to just kind of stay in very flowy, very loose things to sort of hide everything, and I don't have to now. I see a waist when I wear kind of a dress that's very form fitting. I haven't put on boots, so I'm not sure about my calves. That's a big sign when my calves finally fit in my boots, which is a goal. Please let me get there. So the body is getting smaller, but it's flabby. You know what I mean? And I gotta work on that, because as the weight comes off more and more, that flab is just gonna get worse and worse. So it's really important for me to add exercise back into this. So the mental hijinks I went through to get to this place with the eating choices, I need to transfer those hijinks to getting me to a place where I make good exercise choices, good choices about adding exercise to my daily life. I'm super, super sedentary right now. Super sedentary. But with all that said, certain things have gotten better just from the weight coming off. Lower back pain is almost down to nothing. Almost down to nothing. Leg pain, knee pain, kind of, we'd gotten to a better place with it from physical therapy, but like hips giving out randomly as I try to, walk quickly, or if I'm rushing across the street, doesn't happen. Walking up and down stairs, I'm still not in great cardiovascular health. I'm still going to be breathing deeply. But the other day at work, I had to run up and down for something a couple of times. And I got back to my desk after the third time, and I was like, oh, hang on. I'm so fine that I had to remind myself I just come up and down those steps 3 times. In the past, I would have been like, like I would have needed water, and I didn't. So little things like that have been helped by the weight coming off. There's upsides. There's more work to do. I have to work out. I'm going on vacation soon-ish, in a couple of weeks. And I'm hoping to add a little bit there so I'm going on a family vacation. My mom, my fiance, other people. So I want to be nice and tight, at least as tight as I can get. So I want to add physical fitness, and also that vacation will be quite physical, hiking, and there'll be a lot of stuff we're doing. So I want to really feel, physically strong. This is the first step. That's the next step. But other than that, I am celebrating. Y'all, I'm so happy today. I'm so happy today. I even treated myself. And as I treated myself, I was like, I don't even want to finish this treat because it was yogurt with a little bit of cherry preserves. And I was like, this is nice, but I haven't eaten yogurt in a while and I don't want to mess with it. Like, you know what I mean? These are the kind of choices I make. I'm just deciding to be happy versus like, just eat it. It tastes good. Keep eating. Also this morning, I made something that was really good. What did I make that was really good? Oh, for breakfast, I had a big salad. I had a really early morning grocery delivery. For, when you I order grocery. This is New York City, so I don't want to. Sometimes I hear myself talking. I think, oh my God, I sound so like ridiculous. But this is New York life. I'm not rich. I'm not special. I'm not bougie. I'm not whatever. But like groceries get delivered. Whatever. So anyway, grocery delivery, and I forgot it was for like early morning between 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. So I kind of woke up to the knock on my door. But it was good because I was like, yeah, I didn't eat anything after lunch yesterday, so I'm actually pretty hungry. And I made this lovely small salad of just tomatoes, olives, cucumbers. I added some feta cheese, not a lot, but feta, because that's one I can enjoy small amounts of, and olive oil. And it was delicious, but I made a small salad, mainly because my bowls were dirty. So I had to make it in like a big tea mug. But it was so delicious that like my previous habit was always, oh, this is delicious. Let's get more. Let me go get another helping. So I'd eaten it and I was like, oh, I'll go make some more because it was just a small, it was just this mug. And as I like stood up with the mug to take it back into the kitchen, I realized I just felt I felt full. I was like, oh, wait, I'm not hungry now. Like I feel full. I feel satisfied, not uncomfortably full. I feel satisfied. And I don't need another helping. Do you know how many times in my life I've made that kind of decision? I can count them on one hand. And they've all happened this week. Like, I've never been the person who's been like, no, I'm fine, and meant it. Today, I meant that. I was like, no, I feel good. It tasted really good. And I had a nice, several spoonfuls of it in this cup. And I feel full. I feel fine. I feel happily satiated. It felt so good to be able to just make that decision and be like, so I'm just going to put my cup in the sink and pop it in the dishwasher. Like, I don't need to make another portion. I don't need to make another helping. That right there, those are the choices that I'm talking about, that the balloon has really been a tool for, but that really the mental game is up here that helped me follow through. Because in the first month and a half of this balloon, it was easy to think that, oh, I don't need any more. I'm probably full. I'm going to feel full in a minute. I'm full. Oh, but that tasted good. Let me get some more. It's healthy. I can have another portion. I was still making those choices in the first month and a half of this balloon, which is probably why I was staying at that number every time, despite my saying, I don't know why I'm so stuck here. I think I'm following my plan. This week is the week that I feel like it's settling. Actually, it's not just this week because I've seen the progress for the last couple of weeks. But day 60, a couple of days ago, when I hopped on the scale and saw 207, was like, whoa, that was a wonderful reward. And that actually was the day before Thanksgiving. It made the choice to not go to see my family for Thanksgiving a little less bitter, because I was like, wait a minute, look at the gains I've made here in my weight loss process. I don't want to go mess it up and get it or be tempted and feel bad about having to stay away from delicious food. Also, I've talked about this before. I'm making choices a bit in a vacuum. The tougher choices to make are the ones when you're in a restaurant and when you're around other people. The most tough choices to make are when somebody cooks for you and you have to decide to say no thank you, or have one bite and say thank you, that was delicious, I can't have any more. That's the toughest time. I don't know if it's a cultural thing for me. I don't know if I'm just that kind of people pleaser and it's just what my personality trait is. But for me, it's ingrained. If someone cooks for you, you eat, and you eat everything they made for you, because the act of them cooking for you is such a gift. It's such a generous thing to do. It's from the heart. It's their time. It's their energy. It's their expression, and their feelings are involved. When people cook something, it's a little bit like their view of what flavor and taste is. And if you say blah, it's like you're insulting them. So it's very difficult for me, if I'm invited somewhere and someone cooks for me, to not eat everything that they give me. So going to my family would have been one of those where I would have felt like I had to eat a little bit of everything at least. Now that would have been different because a lot of people around, but I still would have felt like I couldn't be the one that was like, no, I'm not eating. Also, I don't want to draw attention to my gastric stuff. And it's just like that. A lot of times, it's not just my family, it's many group settings. If you're the one person who's like, I'll just have a salad, that stands out, which then becomes why, especially if you're someone like me who always did eat. And I don't want to have this conversation with everybody. I don't want to be explaining or like being shady and not really explaining, or like giving some weird like, oh no, I'm just not hungry, or I ate before, or oh, I don't know, I feel a little queasy, I don't want to upset myself. I don't want to be someone that's got to find excuses to explain what's going on. So that's why I was a little bit glad, on top of seeing the wonderful number that was on my scale on Wednesday. I was a little bit glad, if I can say, to not be spending a Thanksgiving, in that environment while I've got the balloon in. Maybe there'll be a different decision next year when I don't have a balloon in me, and when I have met my goals. But for now, I'm working on something here, and it's taken all my focus, and that is how I have justified it for myself. When it came to other things, now we're coming into the holiday season, so it's going to be a little harder to not make, not go to different events, because there's just so many more of them. But I'm going to be in that situation. I did have that party in Halloween where I went and I made sure not to drink. I didn't drink any alcohol there, so I didn't have alcohol calories, and I ate very, very little, and it was fruit. There was like blackberries and like grapes or something in bowls, and so I had that. But I also didn't stay at the party very, very long. I have a few other parties coming up for, the month of December, all these Christmas parties and stuff, and I'll be back in the situation of having to make a choice in public of what I do and don't drink or eat. I will say that now, having found this non-alcoholic spirit that I can use to make a cocktail with, that changes everything. So now that's like, okay, if I go somewhere, maybe I'll bring a bottle of wine or Prosecco as a gift for the host, but I'll bring a bottle of this also as a gift, but I'll open, for the group, and I'll open it and I'll just say, look, I'm bringing this because I'm going alcohol free for a little while. That also helps me with controlling what I eat. 'Cause I find, for me, if I drink one, I'm okay. But if I get to 2 glasses of wine, if I cross that threshold and anything past that, I make very different choices about food. I just do. And that's not special to me. I think we all do that. When you drink, you eat from a different place, and Number one, you're eating to if you're drinking one flavor, then you're eating to cut that. So if you're drinking beers, you want the salt. If you're drinking, wine or whatever, champagne, like you want, sometimes I'll want olives, and sometimes I'll want something dry like crackers or something. Like you start to snack. But I'll like you, and also just mentally, I'm just not in the game, right? Mentally, I'm just not there to make that stark choice. Like, hang on, hang on, hang on, don't do this. So cutting the alcohol might be a really good thing for me. So the mocktail, this fake gin, and there's now actually a company in New York City that sells fake everything. So maybe I'll try some other spirits. I'm not a very adventurous drinker, so I don't really know how to make a bunch of other cocktails or even a bunch of other drinks that I would like with fake liquors. But at least that's something I can bring, and that's something I can like participate in a party, but like be able to control myself. And then the rest is going to still be just going to go back to just the mental game of like, what is going to make me happy? Is this canapé going to make me happy, or am I going to suffer tomorrow, and is it worth it? We'll see. So far, so good. But again, coming into danger zone, which is the month of December and all these daggone Christmas parties. This video is getting long, so let me close up. The bottom line is I am 19 pounds down. This progress has been slow, SLOW. However, it has been progress and I am in a state of progress. I don't feel like I am in a state of stagnation, which is how I felt the first month. But most importantly, I feel emotionally and mentally good. I feel good about myself. I feel good about what's happening inside of me. Like I feel confident is probably a better word. I feel confident about what's happening inside of me. So I have a vacation coming up. I'll talk about that, when it comes, but vacation mode is probably the other thing I'm worried about. How do I travel to another country where I would like to eat everything, but I need to not do that? So we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But right now, we are celebrating day 63, week number 9 of the 6-month Orbera balloon, and 19 pounds. Gone. Hopefully never to come back.